Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be looking at some cool World War II stuff that I got from one of my friends. All of this stuff is original. So we're just open up this big crate. We got some rusty stuff in there, and I'm going to be explaining what everything is. First of all, you'll notice this shell right here isn't quite as rusty as the other stuff. It's because this I got this one earlier. I was given this by my uncle, and as you can read, it says 37mm M16 1942. Can you read that? I have no idea. I think this is American or British maybe. I don't know. I'm not really good at identifying shells. It's not very powerful. In the early years of the war it was pretty decent, but later on in 1944 these type of shells were not that powerful and they couldn't really penetrate a lot of vehicles. But once again, I have no idea what this is from. This could be anything. I don't know if this is from a tank, an anti-tank gun, anti-aircraft gun. I don't know. I have no idea. Moving on, I have this thing. It kind of looks like a bucket, but it's something completely different. In fact, I'm just gonna give you a second to figure out for yourself what this thing is. You probably already know. It's a drum magazine for an MG43, which is a German machine gun that I think was first developed in 1943, and that's probably also where it got its name from. I'm not entirely sure, but I just assume. Anyways, it can hold a couple of rounds. There's no rounds inside of it, of course. Everything has been emptied or fired. I don't know. Someone might have been killed with this, for all I know. I hope not, but you never know. And as you can see, it used to be painted green, but it's very rusty and the handle doesn't really move anymore. But yeah, that's the drum mag. I have another one. This one seems like it was painted yellow, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just very rusty and it has completely changed the appearance of it. So this one would be plugged into the side of the machine gun, and then they would empty the entire magazine, and then I guess they would just throw it away. So I got all this stuff from one of my best friends, and he gave me all this stuff because he didn't want it. He didn't want to keep it. He already has a Panzerschreck and some other cool stuff that he's going to try to restore. Obviously he's not going to restore the Panzerschreck in full working order because it wouldn't be very legal to have a working rocket launcher, but he's just going to try to make the outside look like brand new, really. I'm not going to try to restore any of this stuff because I don't really see the purpose of doing that. I just think it's cool to have this lying around, you know? We also have a magazine. Clearly, it's a bit curved, like a banana, and very rusty, as you can see. You can even hear things inside of it. If I stand on this thing, it will probably completely fall apart. But I don't really know what this is from, but I assume this held 303 rounds, and it's from a Bren light machine gun, a British light machine gun, because these were actually used in the Netherlands. All this stuff was found in the Netherlands by my best friend's uncle, who is actually a metal detecting guy. He found all this stuff and he didn't want to keep everything for himself, so he gave a lot of his stuff to my friend who lives across the street, and he didn't want to keep everything to himself either because it was just too much, and so he gave me some of the leftovers, which is pretty cool stuff. Once again, I'm not 100% sure if this is from a Bren. It might be, I assume so, but it might also very well be from some generic anti-aircraft gun. I don't know, I actually have no idea. And if you know what this is from, and if you know what that shell right there is from, please tell me, because I actually have no idea. I'm just assuming things. I know a decent amount of things about history, but I'm not good enough to identify certain ammunition types and stuff like that. So moving on, we have this thing, and I am pretty sure you guys don't know what this is, but this is in fact very interesting. This thing holds barrels for the MG42, which I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. It is nicknamed Hitler's Buzzsaw, and it is a extremely rapid-firing machine gun that was first developed in 1942. Once again, that explains the name. Maschinengewehr 1942, MG42. So this thing can actually open. Try to open it up. Yes, there we go. And in here they would have spare barrels, because if you're gonna fire like 1,200 rounds a minute or something, it's a lot anyways, your barrel is going to frequently overheat. I don't really know how it works, but you have to frequently change the barrels, especially with the MG42, because they tend to overheat so much. So with the MG42, you would have to frequently change the barrels because the gun would overheat a lot, like I just said. And it was pretty easy to do that, because all you had to do was like open up a hatch on the side of the gun, take the old barrel out, and put a new one in. All you had to do was watch the hands, because I'm pretty sure the barrel would be extremely hot once you fired a couple of rounds through it with such an amazing firing rate. These things can actually fully open and close. Works with a pretty easy mechanism. There we go, and then you just close it like this. A bit rusty, but it still works. You could technically still use these. The MG42, very lethal weapon. So lethal, in fact, that the British and American Marines were actually trained to attack a German machine gun position at the moment they were reloading the gun or putting a new barrel in, because otherwise that gun would just mow down every single soldier. That thing was capable of mowing down platoons worth of soldiers in just a matter of seconds, really. That thing is insane. And that's also the reason why they still use this in the German army. The Bundeswehr is what the German modern day army is called right now. Of course, they use a modified version of the MG42, which I'm pretty sure is called the MG3. Not entirely sure, because the MG42 is a bit outdated on some aspects, so they made a variant of it that is a bit more modern, but still pretty much the same concept. So yeah, that just proves that the MG42 is a very powerful machine gun. Moving on, we have what can only be a shovel, or it used to be anyways. As you can see, the wood, it's completely gone because of the amount of time this thing has spent underground. Pretty interesting. You could easily kill someone with this if you were to hit them in the head, and that might have happened with this shovel. I really doubt someone was killed with this. Probably not. It was probably just used to dig trenches or foxholes or something, but you could technically kill someone with this. Well, I mean, not technically, it's very easy actually. Moving on, we have this empty shell case. It's pretty big, too big to be from a handheld firearm. This is bigger than your usual rifle round. It says something on the back. 36P and 2 triangles, it seems. But yeah, this is a really weird type of shell case. I actually have no idea what this is from, because it's like too big to be from a handheld firearm, but it's also too small to be from like an anti-tank gun, cannon or something. So I think this is anti-aircraft. It's the only thing left really, but once again, I have no idea. If you know what this is from, please let me know, because I actually have no idea. So moving on, we have another shell case, and this one is actually pretty tiny compared to the last one, as you can see. This is definitely from a handheld firearm. I have no idea what this is. It says something on the back. It appears to say SB or S8 19. I have no idea what this means. If you can tell me what this is, please let me know. I think it's pretty cool. So the last thing I wanted to take a look at is this thing right here. But this thing used to hold biscuits, as you can see. It says some pretty interesting stuff on it. Average net weight, 18 lbs packed /44, which can only mean that it was packed in 1944. So I assume that this thing was dropped in the Netherlands by the British in 1944, 45 maybe, because at the time, people were starving. There wasn't a whole lot of food. The British would arrange secret droppings with the Dutch resistance. But yeah, of course, most of the times they wouldn't get caught, but when they did, the Germans really weren't messing around and would just execute all of them on sight. So yeah, this crate is also pretty interesting. I don't know if this one was also dug up, but it's definitely very rusty. I have no idea who this crate belonged to. I assume it's the Germans because all the stuff that I showed in this video belonged to the Germans, but I have no idea. It says C224 LAY/CI 1C42, I think. So anyways, that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to show you guys this because I thought it was pretty interesting, and I thought you guys would be interested in it too. Thanks for watching.